Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
So in the last lecture, we have discussed about nested interval property. So what is nested interval property, Abhay?
Sir.
What is nested interval property? What does it tells us? Suppose we have given a nested sequence of closed interval, then intersection of that closed interval in is non-empty. And suppose also we have given that GLB of Bn minus An, where n belongs to n, is 0, then intersection of this closed interval contains precisely 1 point. So this is nested interval property. So now today we will see the last theorem of this unit, and the name of the theorem is existence of square root of 2 in R. So let us see. Existence of square root of 2 in R. So let us see the statement of the theorem. Prove that there exists x in R so that x square equal to 2. Okay, so this is the statement. Statement is very small, but its proof is very lengthy. So we can always find out x from R so that x square equal to 2. Okay, so let's begin the proof. So let me define a set S in this way, or define set S is equal to T belongs to R such that T square less than 2 and T greater than or equals to 0. So we are taking positive T from R for which T square is less than 2. So we show that this set is non-empty bounded above subset of R. So tell me, Abhay, why this set is non-empty?
T is greater or equal to 0 and means 0 less than 2 એટલે non-empty છે.
Yes, also you may take 1 square is equal to 1, which is less than 2. This implies that 1 is a member of S, or S is not equal to phi. Okay, clearly it is a subset of R. So we are taking elements from R, so it is a subset of R. It is non-empty. Now tell me why it is bounded above. Do you have any upper bound of S? Please tell me. Vaibhav.
Sir.
Why S is bounded above? See, this is
Its our upper bound is 2.
No, 2 is, of course 2 is upper bound, but why? You are saying that from this you are saying that 2 is an upper bound of set S, but 2 is upper bound of S, but due to not due to this reason. So look at this. If you take any T from S, this implies that T square is less than 2. 2 is less than 4. So now put this together, first and last. T is less than 2, and this is true for every t belongs to S. Why we have taken here positive root? The reason is this: t is greater than or equal to 0. So what does this mean? 2 is an upper bound of set S, or S is bounded above. Therefore, we have shown that S is a non-empty bounded above subset of R. Since R is complete order field, LUB of S exists in R. Therefore, there exists X in R such that LUB of S is equal to X. So we have found one X from R so that X is equal to LUB of S. Now look at this statement. We want to find out some X from R so that X square equal to 2. So I already found X, but still I have not proved that X square is equal to 2. So next we show that, what is my claim? X square equal to 2. Okay. So we go by contradiction. Suppose if possible, X square is not equal to 2. So by trichotomy law or by trichotomy property, either X square is bigger than 2 or X square is smaller than 2. So in every case we will get some contradiction. So let us consider the first case. If your X square is less than 2, okay, so now we will get some contradiction. Okay. So now X square is less than 2. Therefore, what can you say about 2 minus X square? It is positive, isn't it? Okay. Now we know that also. Now we know that n is less than n square, isn't it? So by taking reciprocal, inequality will be changed. Okay, so 1 by n square, and this is true for every n. Now for any n from set of natural number n, let me consider this quantity x plus 1 upon n square. By expanding this, we will get x square plus 1 by n square plus 2 times x upon n. So which is further less than or equal to 1 upon n square less than or equal to n. So you can write here 1 by n plus 2x by n. The reason is this: for every n belongs to n. So now we can take 1 upon n common from this last two terms. So we will get 1 by n, and here we will get 1 plus 2x. So now let me say this to be 1. So now note that 2 minus x square is positive, isn't it? The reason is this: we have assumed that x square is less than 2, therefore 2 minus x square is positive, and 2x plus 1, it is a member of R. So I have one positive number and one y belongs to R. Therefore by Archimedean property, there exists, let us say m belongs to n such that m into x 2 minus x square is greater than y. Therefore, now bring this m on right side. So you will get m minus m square is greater than 2x plus 1 upon m. So now by equation 1 is true for all n. Okay. So it is particularly it is true for m belongs to n also. Therefore by 1 we have x plus 1 upon whole square, which is less than or equal to x square. I should write here 2, not m. See, x plus 1 upon n whole square less than or equal to x square plus 2x plus 1 upon n, 2x plus 1 upon m. This is true for all n. So in particular it is true for m. Okay. So you may write here m. Let me write here n. So I should write here m x square plus 1 upon m 1 plus 2x upon m. It is greater than. Actually, I should write here 2x plus 1 by m. Okay. So which is further less than. I will keep x square as it is, and 2x plus 1 upon m. It is less than 2 minus x square. So x square gets cancelled. So therefore, there exists m belongs to n such that x plus 1 by m square strictly less than 2. Okay. So this is a member x plus 1 upon m whose square is less than 2. Therefore, you can say that x plus 1 upon m, it is a member of S, and x is equal to LUB of S. Therefore, you can say that x plus 1 upon m is less than or equal to x. So xx gets cancelled from both the side. So you will get 1 upon m less than or equal to 0. Therefore, you will get 1 less than or equal to 0. So we get a contradiction. Therefore, our assumption must be wrong. Therefore, x square so in the first case we have proved that will not occur. Now let us assume that x square is greater than 2, and again we will get some contradiction. So this is case 2, x square is greater than 2. Suppose assume that so therefore you can say that x square minus 2 is greater than 0 by bringing 2 on left side. So now for any n in n, consider in the last case we have considered x plus 1 upon n. Now we will consider x minus 1 upon n square. So let us see. X minus 1 upon n whole square is equal to By expanding this, we will get x square minus 2x upon n plus 1 by n square. Okay, always 1 upon n square is always positive, so this is always greater than or equals to x square minus 2x by, and this is true for every n belongs to n. Let me say this to be 3 or 2, 1, then 2. Let me say this to be 2. Okay, so now x square minus 2 is positive, and now consider y equal to 2x. 2x is a member of R. Therefore, by Archimedean property, there exists m belongs to n such that what happen? M into x square minus 2 nx greater than y, and here y is nothing but 2x. Okay, so therefore x square minus 2 is greater than 2x by m. By multiplying by minus 1, you will get x square minus 2 less than minus 2x upon m by 2 and 3. So 2 is true for all n in n. So by 2. By 2 and 4 above n. X minus 1 upon m whole square, it is greater than or equal to, but now x square, I will keep x square as it is, minus 2x upon m. Okay, minus 2x upon m is bigger than minus of x square minus 2. The reason is, so now let me put this together. So x square gets cancelled. Actually this is nothing but, so this gets cancelled. So you will get x minus 1 upon m whole square is strictly greater than 2. Okay, now let me say this to be 4. Every t belongs to S. This implies that t square is less than 2 and 2 less than x minus, or for some m. This is not true for all m. This is true for some m. So 2 is less than x minus 1 upon m square by 4. So therefore, for every t belongs to S, implies t square is less than x minus 1 upon m square. By taking square root, you will get x minus, and this is true for all t belongs to S. So we can say that x minus 1 upon m is an upper bound of set S, but x is equal to LUB of S. So x is the least upper bound and this is any upper bound. So what is the relation between x and x minus 1 upon m? Why? Which number is bigger and which number is smaller?
Sir, x.
Yes, x. Tell me.
m નેચરલ નંબર એટલે 1 માઇનસ એટલે x મોટો છે.
No, x is the least upper bound and this is any upper bound. So least means जो सबसे छोटी है वो. So x less than or equal to x minus 1 upon. So x gets cancelled from both sides. So 0 less than or equal to minus 1 upon m. So again you get the count, which is not possible because this is always negative. Okay. Therefore x square is proved. Hence we get, or we have, x square is equal to 2. So we have proved that there exists x in R so that x square equal to 2. So this is the proof of this result. So how we get this x? तो ये हमें कैसे मिलता है कि हमने ये सेट S डिफाइन किया, इसमें हमने कैसे एलिमेंट्स लिए, t belongs to R so that t square less than 2. So with the help of this set S we have x, and x is nothing but LUB of set S. So this is the very crucial part of the theorem. So आप कुछ याद नहीं रखेंगे तो चलेगा, लेकिन ये सेट S कैसे डिफाइन करना है वो तो आपको याद रखना ही पड़ेगा. Without this S you will not get x. Okay. So ये क्रूशल पार्ट है रिजल्ट में. ठीक है, तो हमने बाद में तो कंप्लीटनेस ऑफ आर अप्लाई करके ये बताया, ये x ढूंढा हमने. ठीक है. So and then we have considered x plus 1 upon n and x minus 1 by n and we get the contradiction. So this is about square root of real number. So similarly, suppose, let me put one remark. If a greater than 0, then there exists x in R such that here x is called the root a. And the second, if a is positive, then always you can find out such that x raised to n is equal to a. Here x is called nth root of a. ठीक है, ये आपने कॉम्प्लेक्स एनालिसिस में भी स्टडी किया है. nth रूट ऑफ कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर z रेज़ टू 1 अपॉन n. हाउ टू फाइंड z रेज़ टू 1 अपॉन n आपको पता होगा कि आप क्या करते हैं, उसका प्रिंसिपल आर्गुमेंट निकालते हैं, बाद में उसको पोलर फॉर्म में रख के एक्सपोनेंशियल फॉर्म में रखते हैं, r इंटू e रेज़ टू i थीटा फॉर्म में. ठीक है, और बाय मेकिंग यूज ऑफ डी मोवियर्स थियरम आप उसके रूट्स पता करते हैं. इन द कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर suppose you want to find out nth root of complex number, then there are exactly n roots. Okay, but ये real line पे ये true नहीं है. So unit 1 is finished. Now we begin unit number 2. So the name of the unit 2 is sequences. Okay, so before going to sequences, let me introduce new chapter sequences. Fine. So sequences. So what is sequence? Anyone knows the definition of sequence? Why?
ના સર ડેફિનેશન તો એવું કઈ ખબર નહીં. સિક્વન્સ કઈ હતું 1 4 7 એવી રીતે.
Yes. But let me first of all put the topics of this unit. Fine. See, these are the topics. We need two sequences. So now articles 4.2 to 4.7 of textbook 3, 2.4 of textbook 1. So now the question comes in your mind, what is textbook 3 and what is textbook 1? Since it is not mentioned here, so let me again put the title of the books. There are 3 books which are mentioned in your syllabus. See, so these are the books: Introduction to Analysis by Gerald, Introduction to Analysis by Bartle, and Fundamentals of Mathematical Analysis by Das and Patnaik. So here textbook 3, 4.2 to 4.7. So textbook 3 is Fundamentals of Das and Patnaik, or Fundamentals of Mathematical Analysis by Das and Patnaik. So this is your reference book. Okay. So these are the topics: sequences and limits, limit theorems, monotonic sequences, sequences defined inductively, subsequences included lim sup and lim inf, Cauchy sequences, infinite limits. So these are the topics. So this is a very core part of the analysis. So we will see in detail what is sequences, what is convergent sequences. Okay, so by the way, what is sequence? Sequence, I again am telling you, sequence is nothing but function. Okay. Now let me first define sequence. If A is non-empty, if A is not equal to phi, then any function f whose domain is n and codomain is A is called sequencing A. Okay, so this is the definition of sequence. It is denoted by or simply xn and fn equal to xn. So this is sequence. Okay. So note that if your A is equal to R, then xn is called real sequence, a sequence of real numbers. And if A is equal to C, then xn is called a sequence of complex numbers. Since we are studying analysis, real analysis, so we will take A equal to R. ये C वाला हम यहाँ पे स्टडी नहीं करेंगे, ठीक है. So you will study in MAT 303 complex analysis and Fourier series. So in that course you will study in detail or the property of C, complex plane C. Okay. So continuity of a complex valued function, differentiability of a complex valued function, all those things you will study in that unit. So in that course, so we will not discuss about complex sequences, only we study here real sequences. So now let me define range of a sequence. Let xn be a given sequence of real numbers. In the set xn, where n belongs to n, is called range of a sequence. So if I take sequence equal to minus 1 raised to n, what is range? Abhay, range of the sequence. If you take n equal to 1, you will get minus 1. N equal to 2, you will get 1. Then you will take, if you take n equal to 3, again you will get minus 1. So range of the sequence is minus 1 comma 1, and this is original sequence. Okay. So range contains only 2 elements. Now let me consider another sequence. Sine n pi by 2. So what is the range of the sequence? If you take n equal to 0, sorry, if you take n equal to 1, if you take n equal to 1, you will get 1. If you take n equal to 2, sine pi is 0. If you take n equal to 3, sine 3 pi by 2 is minus 1. If you take n equal to 4, sine 2 pi is again 0. 5 pi by 2, that is 1. So I repeat. So the range of the sequence is 1, 0 and minus 1. So range contains only 3 elements. So now let us see the definition of limit of sequence. So what is the limit of the sequence?
Limit n tends to infinity.
Yes, limit n tends to infinity.
Xn.
See, so this is the definition. Let xn be a given sequence of real number. If there exists x belongs to R with the following property. What is that property? For every epsilon greater than 0, there exists some n naught in n such that for all n greater than or equals to n0, this implies that this difference is always less than epsilon. If we are able to find out such n naught from n, and we say that xn has a limit x, then we say that as n tends to infinity, the limit of xn is x. It is denoted by so this is the notation, or you can also write in this way: xn tends to x as n tends to infinity. And in this case, the sequence xn is said to be convergent. Otherwise, it is called divergent. So in short, a sequence is convergent if its limit exists. तो हम फिर से देखते हैं डेफिनेशन क्या कहती है. If there exists some x in R so that for every epsilon greater than 0, there is some n naught in n, so that whenever n is bigger than n naught, difference between xn and x is always less than epsilon. तो ये कंडीशन किस पे है? n पे है. If your n is bigger than n naught, then the difference between xn and x can be made arbitrarily small. तो ये दिस इज ट्रू फॉर ऑल एप्सिलॉन. तो मैं क्या करूंगा, एप्सिलॉन बहुत ही छोटा ले लेता हूं, बहुत ही छोटा. सो if xn tends to x or limit of xn has x, then what happen? For that particular epsilon, very small epsilon, I can find out some n0 belongs to n. ये n0 कितना भी बड़ा हो सकता है. क्या होगा आफ्टर n0 टर्म के बाद जो सीक्वेंस के टर्म्स है वो और x का मैं डिफरेंस लेता हूं तो क्या होगा, वो एप्सिलॉन से भी छोटा आ जाएगा. What does this mean? These two are equivalent, almost they are same, x and nx. So when I can say that xn tends to x, after some stage, and that stage is n naught, after some stage, all the terms of sequences are very near to x, then I can say that xn tends to x. After some stage, all the terms of sequences are very near to x. So let me again write equivalent definition. This is the remark. Limit of sequence xn is equal to x if and only for every epsilon greater than 0 there exists n naught in n such that for all n greater than or equals to n0, this implies that xn minus x less than epsilon. Clear? So in terms of quantifier, I have written this. Equivalently, you can write this as for every epsilon greater than 0, there exists n naught in n such that for all n greater than or equals to n naught, this implies that x minus epsilon less than xn less than x plus epsilon. If and only if. Now let me write down this in terms of interval. Xn belongs to x minus epsilon to x plus epsilon. Clear? So this round bracket is for this, second is for this, and third is for the last. ये क्या कहता है कि all the xn's are within this interval if xn is convergent. What does this mean? Let me draw a picture so that there should not be any confusion. This is x minus epsilon, this is x plus epsilon, and x is somewhere here. तो अगर xn tends to x होगा तो क्या होगा, ये all the xn's lies in this interval after some stage. Okay, ये सारे कहाँ पे आ जाएंगे, इस xn n0 के बाद में कौन सा टर्म आएगा, xn0 plus 1, then xn0 plus 2, then xn0 plus 3. All these terms are within this interval. They can not go outside of this interval x minus epsilon to x plus epsilon. तो समझ में आ रहा है अभय मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ?
हाँ सर.
So this is the definition of convergent sequence. So roughly I can say that xn tends to x. What does this mean? All the terms of sequences are very near to point x after some stage. Okay. Now let us see some examples. Prove that limit n tends to infinity 1 upon n equal to 0. ये हमें प्रूव करना है तो कहां से स्टार्ट करना होगा, ये दिस इज हियर xn is 1 upon n and we want to show that its limit is 0, x is 0. So we should begin from epsilon positive. See what is definition, this if xn tends to x, this must be true. ओके, सो हमें बताना है कि इसकी लिमिट 0 है, तो हमें क्या करना होगा, इफ आई टेक एनी एप्सिलॉन ग्रेटर देन 0, I should find some n0 belongs to n so that this is true. So let's begin. From epsilon greater than 0 be given. Now what is my aim? Our aim is to find n naught in n so that for all n greater than or equals to n0, this implies that 1 upon n minus 0, this is less than epsilon. ओके, ये हमें प्रूव करना है. एक्चुअली हमें क्या करना है, n0 फाइंड करना है. तो ये कैसा है पता है अभय? ये ऐसा है कि अभय ये कैसा है कि अगर सर्वोत्तम है कि नहीं लेक्चर में? सर्वोत्तम नहीं है, देखो
नहीं है सर।
हाँ नहीं है, कोई बात नहीं. अगर सर्वोत्तम है वो क्या करना चाहता है पता है? उसको मोबाइल खरीदना है, मोबाइल परचेज करना चाहता है. क्या परचेज करना चाहता है? मोबाइल परचेज करना था. तो उसके फादर को बोलता है पापा जी मुझे मोबाइल लेना है, आप मुझे 20,000 दे दीजिए. उसके फादर बार्गेनिंग करते हैं, बेटा 20,000 का मोबाइल तो मैं भी नहीं वापर रहा हूँ और तुझे क्या करना है 20,000 का मोबाइल लेके. तो बाद में ये समाधान 15,000 पे अटकता है. सर्वोत्तम बोलता है कि मैं 15,000 रुपये से 1 रुपया कम नहीं लूंगा. तो उसका पापा कहते ठीक है बेटा ले ले. तो वो क्या करता है 15,000 रुपया लेके मोबाइल खरीदने शॉप पे जाता है. हम मान लेते हैं कि वो ऑनलाइन नहीं शॉपिंग कर रहा है, वो नवसारी की किसी दुकान पे गया. तो ये 15,000 रुपया है ना, वो क्या है पता है आपको? ये एप्सिलॉन है. क्या है? एप्सिलॉन.
उस लिमिट।
हाँ, ये n0 क्या है? ये मोबाइल है.
मोबाइल।
हाँ, तो ये n0 है जो, और ये मोबाइल के फीचर्स है कि वो चाहता है कि मुझे 6 GB रैम वाला ही मोबाइल चाहिए और उसमें 20 मेगापिक्सल वाला कैमरा होना चाहिए जिससे मैं अच्छा दिखूं. ठीक है, जो कि वो अच्छा ही है, उसमें दिखने वाली कोई बात नहीं है, सर्वोत्तम अच्छा ही लड़का है. तो वो ये सारे फीचर्स है. ठीक है, तो स्वाभाविक है कि जो रुपये लेके आप दुकान पे जा रहे हैं और मोबाइल खरीदते हैं, ये एन नॉट मोबाइल है, तो मोबाइल की क्वालिटी है वो किस पे आधार रखेगी? 15,000 रुपये पे आधार रखेगी. उसमें ये 20,000 वाला फीचर्स नहीं आएगा. आएंगे?
नहीं आएंगे।
नहीं आएंगे. तो ये n0 की वैल्यू है वो ऑब्वियसली दैट वुड डिपेंड ऑन एप्सिलॉन. तो हमें क्या करना है कि एप्सिलॉन की मदद से n0 निकालना है कि जो ये कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई करे. तो सर्वोत्तम क्या करेगा, शॉप पे जाके पहले ही उसको जो रिक्वायरमेंट है ना वो बोल देगा, पता है? वरना वो शॉपकीपर को कैसे पता चलेगा कि भाई उसको 20 मेगापिक्सल वाला ही मोबाइल चाहिए, कैमरा जिसका 20 मेगापिक्सल हो वैसा ही. और दूसरी बात कि रैम उसकी 6 GB होनी चाहिए. तो वो क्या कहेगा, सर्वोत्तम करेगा ये पहले बोल देगा. तो हम क्या करते हैं कि ये निकालना है, ठीक है, तो हम पहले ये लेके चलते हैं और बाद में ये फाइंड करेंगे. ठीक है, सो नाउ कंसिडर दिस पोर्शन 1 upon n minus 0 लेस देन एप्सिलॉन. और ये ट्रू होगा इफ एंड ओनली इफ 1 upon n इज लेस देन एप्सिलॉन. ये क्यों हम लिख सकते हैं? क्योंकि 1 upon n है वो पॉजिटिव है, so no need to write modulus. Okay, this is true if and only if n is greater than 1 upon epsilon. तो देखो उसको निकालना क्या था n0. वो कैसा n0 निकालना था कि n से कैसा हो, n जितना हो या n से बड़ा हो और क्या हो, ये है वो लेस देन एप्सिलॉन. तो हमने ये लेके चले तो n ग्रेटर देन 1 upon एप्सिलॉन आया. देखो तो दिस टेल्स अस दैट और दिस सजेस्ट अस दैट what should we choose n0. हमें n0 क्या पसंद करना चाहिए अभय?
n से बड़ा।
हाँ ये तो है ही, n से बड़ा है, लेकिन हमें तो वो निकालना है ना. तो
1 upon
Yes, yes,
1 upon
yes.
epsilon.
Yes, this suggests us that we must have to take n0 equal to 1 upon epsilon. लेकिन अगेन प्रॉब्लम होएगा, प्रॉब्लम ये होएगा कि वो मोबाइल है ना, वो उसको मोटोरोला कंपनी का ही चाहिए, दूसरा नहीं चाहिए। तो ये तो किसी भी कंपनी का हो जाएगा। अर्थात ये क्या होगा, वह ऐसा हो सकता है कि 1 अपॉन एप्सिलॉन एन में ना भी आए। सपोज आप मान लीजिए कि एप्सिलॉन इक्वल टू 2 ले रहे हैं तो 1/2। अगर आप n0 इक्वल टू 1 अपॉन एप्सिलॉन चूज करेंगे तो 1/2 आएगा। तो 1/2 तो n पे है नहीं। अगेन प्रॉब्लम। पता चल रहा है ना मैं क्या कह रहा हूं?
हाँ सर।
सो व्हाट शुड वी टेक n0? हम क्या करेंगे, उसको ब्रैकेट फंक्शन ले लेंगे। क्या ले लेंगे? इंटीजर
ब्रैकेट।
यस। तो अगेन प्रॉब्लम ये होगा कि अगर आप एप्सिलॉन 2 लेते हो तो ये 0 हो जाएगा। 1/2 ब्रैकेट क्या होएगा, व्हाट इज। तो हम क्या करते हैं, उस पे एक ऐड कर देते हैं। पता चल रहा है?
हाँ चल रहा है।
तो हमारा n0 कौन सा होगा, 1 अपॉन एप्सिलॉन प्लस 1 इंटीजर ब्रैकेट फंक्शन। तो ये देखिए, ये मोबाइल है, उसकी क्वालिटी यहाँ पे 15,000 यहाँ पे है, देखो यहाँ पे। ठीक है, ये किस पे डिपेंड करता है, n0 एप्सिलॉन पे। तो अभी हम लिखते हैं, सो टेक take n0 equal to integer bracket 1 upon epsilon plus 1, then n0 belongs to n। ठीक है, and for all n greater than equals to n0, if I take n0 is equal to this, then this must be true, 1 upon n minus 0 less than epsilon, or you can say that for every epsilon greater than 0 there exists n naught in n, so that 1 by n minus 0, this is less than epsilon, or you can say that oh sorry, I should write here, I have 1 by n is greater than equals to n naught. This implies that 1 upon n minus 0 less than epsilon, or you can say that limit n tends to infinity 1 upon n equal to 0. So this is the limit of 1 upon n. Right, now let me take second example. To prove that see one, ये वाला एग्जाम्पल है ना, ये डायरेक्ट आर्किमिडियन प्रॉपर्टी से भी प्रूव कर सकते हैं। लेट मी फर्स्ट यूज आर्किमिडियन प्रॉपर्टी। ठीक है, सो लेट एप्सिलॉन ग्रेटर देन 0 बी गिवन। हमें ये n0 निकालना है जो कुछ कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई करे। ठीक है, तो हम क्या करते हैं, this is a positive number, so by Archimedean property there exists some n naught, or let me search that x is greater than 1 upon n, so x की जगह पे क्या है, x एप्सिलॉन। ठीक है, ये आर्किमिडियन प्रॉपर्टी है ना, for x greater than 0, consequence of Archimedean, there exists some n in n such that x is greater than 1 by n। यही है आर्किमिडियन प्रॉपर्टी or consequence of Archimedean properties. So since epsilon is positive, you can find out n naught in n such that x is greater than 1 upon n naught, or epsilon is greater than 1 upon n naught। ठीक है, तो ये है। तो देखिए, हमें तो क्या n greater than equals to n naught, now for this particular n naught, n greater than equals to n naught, this implies that what is the relation between 1 upon n and 1 upon n naught? By taking reciprocal, inequality will be changed. Okay, 1 upon n less than or equal to 1 upon n0, ठीक है, बट 1 upon n0 क्या है? लेस देन
epsilon.
epsilon. So now let me put all this together. So for every epsilon greater than 0, there exists some n in n, n0 in n, such that whenever n greater than equals to n0, this implies that 1 upon n less than epsilon. So you can also write in this way. This is nothing but the definition of sequence. Clear? Bye. वैभव,
Yes, sir.
समझ में आ
हाँ
रहा है ना?
सर।
समझ में आ रहा है ना?
हाँ सर, आ रहा है।
ठीक है। So let me take another example. Prove that ठीक है, तो ये हमें प्रूव करना है. So in our case xn is nothing but 1 upon n raised to k and x is 0. So let's begin from epsilon greater than 0 be given, and we will find n0 in n so that something happen. So we want to find out n0 in n so that something happen. Okay. तो यहाँ से शुरुआत करते हैं. So let us begin from this term. We want to estimate this quantity. So let's begin from this. Yeah, this is less than epsilon. If and only if 1 upon n raised to k less than epsilon. The reason is this: 1 upon n raised to k is greater than 0. So by taking reciprocal, inequality will be changed. I want to find n naught. So by taking kth root of epsilon. So this suggests us that what should I take n0? Vaibhav, मुझे
हाँ
n0
सर।
n0 क्या लेना चाहिए यहाँ से? I want n greater than equals to n0. So this suggests that n0 should be 1 upon kth root of epsilon. But it may happen that this, if I take n0 equal to this, then this does not belongs to n0. So what should I do? I will take its bracket function. Then again there is a problem. It may happen that that will be 0. So I will take n0 equal to 1 by kth root of epsilon plus 1 and its bracket function. Then n0 belongs to n. ठीक है? Therefore, for every epsilon greater than 0, there exists some n naught in n such that for all n greater than equals to n naught, this implies that 1 upon n raised to k minus 0, this is less than epsilon. यहाँ से ये कैसे आपको पता चलता है कि भाई 1 upon n raised to ये n0 this is true, then this is true. देखिए हमने ये चाहिए तो यहाँ से लेके हम चले, तो हम कहाँ पे आके अटके, तो कि n greater than 1 upon kth root of epsilon. So ये n0 में लेता हूँ अगर ये वाला, तो ये तो ट्रू होगा ही क्योंकि ये if and only if है. ठीक है. So I have found some n0 and n so that this happen, or you can say that limit n tends to infinity 1 upon n raised to k 0. ठीक है, आर्किमिडियन प्रॉपर्टी का यूज करके हम प्रूव करते हैं। लेट एप्सिलॉन ग्रेटर देन 0 बी गिवन। ठीक है, तो क्या होगा? बाय द वे हियर k बिलोंग्स टू r प्लस। By Archimedean property, what happen? You can always find out some n naught in n, so that epsilon is greater than 1 by n naught. So we will use this n naught for our purpose. ठीक है, and we, so now let us estimate 1 upon, now for this n naught, n greater than equals to n naught, what is the relation between 1 upon n? ठीक है, सही है ना?
हाँ सर।
सही है।
ठीक है, so now let me say this to be 1. Now consider this portion 1 upon n raised to k minus 0. You may write this as 1 upon n raised to k. Now for let me begin from n greater than equals to, यहाँ पे n कौन सा है? तो n 0 से बड़ा है और मैं एस्टिमेट कर रहा हूँ 1 upon n raised to k. तो यहाँ तो 1 upon n raised to k है, तो यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगा? 1 upon n raised to k less than or equal to 1 upon n 0 raised to k. ऐसा होगा कि नहीं होगा?
होगा ना सर।
लेकिन ये एक बात आपको समझ में नहीं आ रही, ये 1 upon n raised to k है, तो ये ट्रू है कि नहीं है? Let me write in this way. What does it make it difference? So what is the relation between 1 upon n0 raised to k and 1 upon n0? This is always bigger. The reason is this: n0 raised to k is always greater than, ये तो सही है ना, for n0 belongs to n.
हाँ सर।
By taking its reciprocal, you can establish this inequality. Okay, so this is less than 1 by n0, but again look at this, 1 upon n0 is less than
एप्सिलॉन।
So for this n greater than equals to n0, we have established this inequality. Therefore, for every epsilon greater than 0, there exists some n naught in n, such that whenever your n is greater than equals to n naught, so हम क्या कह सकते हैं इसमें से? ये हमने आर्किमिडियन प्रॉपर्टी का यूज करके बताया। तो मैंने आपको बोला था ना, क्या बोला था भाई, कि आर्किमिडियन प्रॉपर्टी वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, एग्जाम के हिसाब से तो इंपॉर्टेंट है, लेकिन ये एप्लीकेशन पर्पज also it is very important. Now let us see the next example. Limit n tends to infinity, r raised to n equal to 0 if mod r is less than 1. ठीक है, so in our case xn is nothing but r raised to n and x is 0. So let us begin from epsilon greater than 0. Okay, I want to find out n not in n. ठीक है, so let's begin with this. Consider this inequality. ठीक है, हमें ये पता नहीं है कि r पॉजिटिव है कि नेगेटिव, so I should keep mod r. So this is true if and only if. Now I want to bring condition on n. तो हम यहाँ पे तो मुझे ये है, तो हम n पे कैसे कंडीशन ला सकते हैं? I want to find out n not, so somehow I should bring some condition on n. तो हमें क्या करना चाहिए वैभव? यहाँ से,
हाँ सर,
यहाँ से हमें क्या करना चाहिए so that we will get some condition on n?
लॉग ले सकते हैं।
Yes, log, by taking log. ठीक है, तो ये हमें n को सब्जेक्ट बनाना है, so bring log on other side. So log epsilon, but now inequality will be changed. The reason is this: 0 less than mod r less than 1. This implies that log mod r is less than 0. नेगेटिव आएगा ये log 0 और 1 के बीच में है ना, और बेस कौन सा होगा log का यहाँ पे? e. ठीक है, ये 1 से बड़ा है ना e, 2.7172 ऐसी कीमत निकलती है e की, विच इज इरेशनल नंबर. सो ये 1 से बड़ा है, इसलिए ये log है ना वो नेगेटिव है. दिस इज लेस देन 0. और नेगेटिव नंबर से हम अगर डिवाइड कर दे तो इनइक्वालिटी विल बी चेंज. सो यहाँ पे क्या होगा? n0 हमें क्या लेना चाहिए? दिस सजेस्ट दिस मस्ट बी ऑन n0, बट इट मे हैपन दैट this would not be in n. So let us consider n0 equal to this plus 1 and integer bracket function. Take n0 equal to 1 plus log epsilon mod r raised to n is equal to 0. So ये हुआ. ठीक है, so this is a very fundamental result. Now let me take how to prove that. Let me consider next example. अब भाई ये हमें निकालना है, प्रूव करना है.
हाँ सर,
So what is xn? 1 upon n square plus
1 upon n square plus 1.
So let's begin from. ठीक है, so therefore by Archimedean property there exists some n in n such that what happened? Epsilon is greater than 1 by n naught. Let us say this to be 1. Now for n greater than or equals to n0, this implies that what is the relation between for n greater than or equals to n0, what is the relation between 1 upon n? Okay, now let us consider this difference. Now for n greater than or equals to n0, 1 upon n square plus 1 minus 0 equal to 1 upon n square plus 1. This is equal to 1 upon, the reason is this is always positive. Okay, now 1 upon n square plus 1, which is always less than 1 by n square, which is less than 1 by n. The reason is this 1 upon n square ठीक है, again by 2, 1 upon n is less than or equal to 1 by n0, again by 1 upon n0 is less than epsilon. So now let's put all this together. See, I have begun from epsilon. With the help of this epsilon, I have found n0 and n such that whenever n is greater than or equals to n0, this difference can be made smaller than epsilon. Therefore, for every epsilon greater than 0, there exists some n naught in n such that whenever n is greater than or equals to n0, ठीक है, तो उसका मतलब क्या निकलता है? समझ में आ रहा है ना वैभव?
हाँ सर आ रहा है।
ठीक है, so let me put some examples in homework. What is the limit of the sequence? 3. So prove these results or these examples. Okay. So we stop our discussion. Okay. So in the next lecture we will see some results of a limit of sequence. Okay, so goodbye.